Live from New York, the show that's wishing a very happy birthday to LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is hard as
Don't.
Bro. He's dope.
Bro, you're
all-time
I thought you were going to swear on it.
No.
Bro nailed his age to the year.
58?
Yeah.
I knew he was like around my age.
Similar physiques.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, you have,
I got bars like
also, you have that goat tattoo in the microphone.
We're starting with the Steelers search.
Pittsburgh embarks on their first coaching search in nearly 2 decades. After Tomlin decides to step away, the team has been a model of success and stability. Also, they might not have a quarterback, and at 27.5, they have the oldest roster in the NFL, but that may drop if Rodgers decides to retire. Like Adam Thielen, congratulations on Adam Thielen calling it a career.
Well, even if he doesn't retire, I mean, why
He's
would
not
going to
go back there. He signed there for Tomlin.
Why would he go back, and why would they bring him back?
No, he
just
probably
guys, I'm just trying to kick it around.
Okay.
27.5 is not that old. All right, here are the head coach openings. There's a lot of them. Brew, how do you view the Steelers' open job?
Well, look, I'll comment on Nick's list, but for me, obviously, to me, the Baltimore job is number one.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, period. You got your quarterback. But I think after that, Steelers is the best, second best job. And I say, obviously, they don't have a quarterback. Some of these other teams don't as well. But that stability, like you go there, you know. And honestly, if you're so bad they get rid of you in a year or two, that just means you weren't ready. They picked the wrong guy. I think they're going to give you a chance, a legitimate chance to be their coach for the next 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And they take pride in the fact that they've only had 3 coaches since 1969. So the last thing they want to do is hire somebody and get on that cycle of, hiring all these different coaches. So, the stability there, I think, makes it number one. And look, they got about $40 million, I think, they can spend in free agency. That could increase if they do, as Nick suggested yesterday, start trading away some of the older players. I just think it's obviously a great organization. I even think the fan base, after years of being good but not great and making the playoffs and winning 10 games and losing in the first round, I think they'll be fine with a rebuild year.
Okay.
Maybe 2, year and a half, something like that. But I just think you get the job security that you may not get in other places.
Yeah, I think if I were ranking attractiveness of jobs, which I'm going to give my full list in a second, but if I were one of the coaches, you have to approach it from a place of realism across the league, not optimism, which is half of these jobs you might not even want your wife and kids to move for.
Yeah.
Like half of these,
we're renting.
You're right. Like if you had high school age kids, you might be like,
oh yeah,
it's going to be tough, but I don't want to pull you out because, again, 14 of the 32 teams fired their coach either this season or 1 year ago, and one of those teams did it twice. So for the almost half the league has changed coaches in the last 2 seasons. And when I go over this list, I think you're going to see how being a head coach somewhere for 5 years means, man, you must have done something really good. And so the fact that the Steelers and the Ravens to an extent, but really the Steelers because of the long history of it, have a reputation of you are going to get real time. That is the best thing that's going for it, and it's why it's going to be high on my list, KW.
Okay, here we go. Here's the list.
9-1, worst to best. The worst job opening is the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
wow. Just awful ownership, a brutal division. They have $136 million cap dollars still to pay Deshaun Watson.
That's ridiculous.
136.
How many years is that?
He has 1 year left.
No, but I mean, how on the cap? How many years left is that on the cap?
Well, they split. It's going to be technically he has this year and then a massive void charge. It's a disaster. Is the short version of it.
Andrew Berry.
And I would also listen. If you really think Shador is a star, then you pump him up. I think Shedeur is actually, if I'm looking at jobs, almost for a future head coach, a potential net negative, just in that, man, if he doesn't play well, there's going to be a portion of the fan base that says I'm sabotaging him. Like it's just harder than a situation of a blank slate at quarterback. So they're the worst job open. Number 8 is the Tennessee Titans. Since Amy Adams-Strunk has taken over, it has been a constant turnover of GM, head coach, GM, head coach, GM changes. They had Mike Vrabel. He lost a power struggle with the GM, who since they are twice removed from. Other than Jeff Simmons, I don't know that there's one player on the roster that I love. Hey. And then Cam Ward.
He showed some promise at the end.
Right, but if you're very high on Cam Ward, this job's better than I have it. But the only player on the roster that I feel like I know is excellent is Jeff Simmons. They do have the second most money in the 4th pick of the draft. Number 7, Miami Dolphins. Since Don Shula, okay, no coach has made it past 4 years. That's this century. Nice. Since Stephen Ross bought the team in 2009, they've had 5 head coaches and 2 interim coaches. They have mediocre draft assets, and they are in a brutal cap situation because they really went for it a couple years ago, and they're going to owe that money to Tua.
Tua just signed in 2024.
Right.
He's signed through 2028, and he's a backup right now. All that money.
I don't know where we're at with Tyreek's injury.
Yep.
But Waddle, the Bills wanted Waddle. If Tyreek goes somewhere, could they tear it down and start fresh with a new coach?
Yeah, I think that's what they'll have to do. But my point is they're not going to be able to. They can tear it down. What they can't do is what the Patriots did this offseason and go on a quick spending spree of veteran players to try to get good quickly.
Yeah.
It will be a teardown. Number 6, the Arizona Cardinals. 1 winning season in the last decade. They are moving on from Kyler, I would imagine, and they're in a very tough division. However, they have the 3rd overall pick. They're an above-average cap situation for this year and moving forward. It's like a fine job. I think the other ones are really, really, really hard. Number 5, the Atlanta Falcons. So I don't believe they have the quarterback, and they don't have a first-round pick this year because they traded that to Atlanta. They have won exactly 7 or 8 games in 7 of the last 8 years. They are just the league average of, sorry kids, mid. And they have an average cap situation, but it's the worst division in football every year. Yeah. And it does feel like they have a few blue chippers.
Yes.
That if you got the quarterback in place, that maybe you could quickly win a division. Number 4, the New York Giants. Do you like Jackson Dart is the question you've got to ask yourself there. Now, Joe Shane is still there. I do wonder that if in order to get John Harbaugh, if it were a Liam Cohen situation where you remember Trent Baalke stayed in Jacksonville and then they wanted Liam Cohen, he was like, I'll come if you let me have a say in who the GM is. I'm not trying to get Joe Shane fired. My point is, could a head coach like Harbaugh say, I want to pick the GM rather than the GM pick me? But here's what's remarkable. Since Tom Coughlin, Ben McAdoo lasted less than 2 years, Pat Shurmur 2 years, Joe Judge 2 years, Brian Daboll 3.5 years. So since Coughlin, they've just been on the carousel. They do have the number 5 pick in the league average cap situation. Number 3, the Raiders. If you like Mendoza, then your biggest issue for the franchise is fixed. You have the number 1 pick. I know people say this is not a good quarterback draft, and Dante Moore going back makes it even less of a good quarterback draft. But it doesn't have to be a good quarterback draft if you have pick 1-1 and there's one quarterback in it you like. Now, they have the number 1 pick and a ton of money, Brew. Yeah. Now, what is remarkable is, you remember Art Shell, the late Art Shell? Art Shell's first stint with the Raiders ended just over 30 years ago. Since then, they have had 14 head coaches. And other than John Gruden, who had a long tenure and then came back with a decent length tenure before it ended in disgrace, and Jack Del Rio got 3 years. They've had a dozen head coaches, and none of them made it 3 years. So they have money to spend. They're in a new, cool stadium. They're in a new city, and they're number 1 pick. And then I agree with you entirely, bro. Number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a few extra picks. They've had 3 coaches in 55 years. They're in a good cap situation that can get even better. And you have stability. And the best job is the Ravens, because even though they're in a tough cap situation, they're in a tough division, but they have really good ownership, and they have a star quarterback in place, which makes it obviously the best job. And so that's how I would rank them 1 through 9.
Can I push back on the narrative that is just being unchallenged, that the Steelers take pride in only having 3 coaches, which I think they do. But we looked it up in the break, and I don't know if you can remember it or not. Cowher and Tomlin got there and immediately started to win,
Yes.
and then very quickly won a Super Bowl. So I wonder if the Steelers take pride in winning quickly and often and consistently, more so than they value having a stable coach. I think if a coach comes in and there's 1 losing season, 2 losing seasons, I don't think like, well, we're the Steelers. We don't.
No,
I think they're more used to winning than they are the stability in the coaching.
I think they'll look at how the coaches do it. If they tear it down and give up some of their veterans and are kind of starting over roster-wise, and the coach wins 5 games and then 6 games his first 2 years, I think it'll be, what does the coach look like? What are you seeing in the building? What are you seeing in the locker room? What are you seeing on the field? I thought like a Jonathan Gannon did a pretty good job in Arizona. You know, even though the record didn't show. And I think in a situation like that, the Steelers might feel like we could keep him, you know, or somebody that's doing like that based on what they see versus just the record.
I just feel like it's so hard to find like
In the last
a quarterback, a coach who's losing games but losing them. And you're
look, a
seeing
lot of
gold
coaches who might get hired, Mike McDaniel might get hired. I mean, he did do some winning in Miami,
winning
but
record.
still recently. Saleh, people take Kevin Stefanski. People take into consideration the situation you're in.
I also would, just very quickly, I've always wondered, I've talked with Coach a bit about this off the air, that I'm not going to name some, but a coach that is generally thought of, it didn't work. He did a bad job at one shot. If that coach got hired and the contract read, if I fire you within 7 years, I have to give you ownership of the team. Meaning you get 7, no matter.
Right.
Would almost any coach, unless they're total incompetent, if they have the security of, I'm going to get time, I don't have to do panic moves, trading away future picks in year 3 because I don't have to re-sign a mediocre quarterback that I don't really believe in, like I think happened with Dable and the Giants, because I don't want to bottom out. I know I am going to get at least a half decade for my vision to come in. Would that instantly make them a top 10 coach? Because having
that security?
The security and the fact that all these other teams are on the carousel, and 5 years in, you have your system, you have your staff. This is the types of players we want in the draft. This is how we run practice. And so I wonder if the Steelers have learned how much you benefit from that stability, and therefore they will have a longer leash than other teams would.
I think you make a lot of sense. I don't think they've learned. Chuck Noll obviously is in a completely different era, no free agency, totally different. Cowher, they just happened to get 2 good coaches in Cowher and Tomlin, and they had the quarterback over both of those guys' careers, Ben Roethlisberger. So I think that is more. I think it's just kind of happenstance. Hey, our coach is actually good and we're winning versus we don't fire guys. So.
Quick pop quiz. Who do you think is taking snaps week 1 in Pittsburgh?
Gosh.
Kyler Murray.
So then you're going to be.
I think Malik Willis has to be in there too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think Malik Willis.
If Tomlin was there, I would say, assuming Rodgers didn't come back, it would be Malik Willis. I think the worst job, I agree with our bottom 4 were not in the same order, but I thought the worst job was Miami. Tua is contracted on a $215 million contract or whatever it is through 2028, and he's your backup right now. I mean, ended the season as a backup. So that's a tough situation. And we've seen it. Whether it's lifestyle, weather, whatever, it's tough to win big down there.
Also, Myles Garrett should ask for a trade again.
Okay. Yeah.
Just saying.
I had Cleveland at 7.
Yeah, it's probably really because you have a little more faith in Shedeur than me. You think they might have the quarterback and he's free.
Right, and so Schwartz, it looks like they're going to keep Jim Schwartz as the DC, so their defense should be pretty good. I don't know that they'll give up Myles.
Yeah. All right, move on to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson goes into next year with a new coach. Will he also have a new contract? Sounds like it. Literally the exact opposite of Jerry Jones. Would you give Lamar a new contract, bro?
Absolutely. Like, it's a no-brainer. I feel like Broussard feels. He's 29 years old. He's smack dab in the middle of his prime. And even last season, off a down year, here are some of his numbers on a down season. Passer rating, he still was 4th in the league. Yards per attempt, 3rd in the league. Touchdown percentage, because he was 21, 3rd in the league and top 10 in TD to interception ratio. And we know he had that bad 5-game stretch. But in one of those games, he threw 2 interceptions. So he had one game where he threw 2 interceptions, but never more than 2, and that was only one time. Like, his bad games were he wasn't completing passes at his typical rate. So it was like in the 50s as far as completion percentage, and he wasn't throwing any touchdowns. But I believe, Nick, he was hurt. Now, it was apparently nagging type of stuff, but I think it limited him. We know he was healthy the first 4 games, got hurt in the 4th game against Kansas City. We know he was healthy when he came back against Miami. And then we know he was healthy in the last game against Pittsburgh. Other than that, he was hurt. Here's I don't know, what is that, 6 games he was healthy. 6 games where he didn't miss practice that week and didn't have an injury. Those are his numbers. I mean, so as his running declines, Nick, I think he's become a very good passer.
So I think this is.
But those are I'm making that point that those are the games he was healthy. So,
but it's not the games, Brew. That includes his first game after his injury.
Yeah, and he came back healthy.
So he came back healthy and played great in that game. When did he get hurt?
Well, I'm going off the injury report and him missing practice.
Okay.
So the weeks he did not miss practice, this is what he did.
Okay. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that.
That's a fact.
He's about to go to war about it.
No, I mean,
you wouldn't sign him?
So I think Steve Bisciotti's a very smart guy, and I think it's very interesting what he said. Because I would do exactly what Steve Bisciotti said he would do.
Oh, pencil in a new number?
Yeah. That same contract you signed before that was nothing close to fully guaranteed, that contract with a raise, deal. I would 100% do that.
But Lamar it was a good amount of it. How much was guaranteed?
$135 million out of $260. Half of it. $135 million guaranteed. He's going to want more than that. Steve Bisciotti also told us, because his cap figure is $75 million. He was like, yeah, if something doesn't get done, then we just tack on some void years and we make sure. So he made it, to me, what he made it clear was, we don't have a gun to our head in the form of this $75 million cap figure because we can just tack on void years and honor this contract. And Lamar deserves a raise, and I'll give him a raise. And I agree. Lamar deserves a raise, even though I think it's fair to say, far more down on Lamar Jackson's 2025 season than you are.
And it was a bad, don't get me wrong, it was a bad season. But I'm saying even in a bad season, those were his numbers.
Right. And I think the numbers were better than the play was. But regardless, but even with that said, he deserves a raise because where he is, even in a bad year amongst NFL quarterbacks. But if Lamar wants, after winning another MVP and 2 first-team All-Pros, something similar to what he wanted 3 years ago, which is a fully guaranteed top-of-market deal, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I am saying, then I guess we're going to play this out. And we can revisit in 1 year, because in 1 year, Lamar will have real leverage because he'll have 1 year left on his deal, and he has a no tag clause. You know what I mean? So like he could hit true free agency at 31 and go test what the market is. But Lamar, I said it the other day, and I don't know if people got upset with me. It just is what it is. It surprised people. In the last 5 years, he has been exactly as available as Joe Burrow. They have played to the game the same number of football games. In the last 5 years, Lamar Jackson has played in the playoffs twice. I believe he is coming off the worst year of his career by far, and the best version of why this year was the way it was for Lamar is because he was injury-riddled. I am not interested in giving 5 years of fully guaranteed money to a 29-year-old mobile quarterback coming off an injury-riddled season. So if it's just a raise, absolutely, I'll give Lamar Jackson a raise, with a similar structure.
Nobody's been getting fully guaranteed money, I know he wanted that last time.
Why would he not want it now, is my question.
Well, why he settled for less last time.
If
talked about a trade, but settled for less.
Mm-hmm. If he'll take what Steve Bisciotti's talking about, then I think that is a huge, that's great for both sides. Lamar gets a raise, and the Ravens maintain some risk against if he ages the way most mobile quarterbacks have aged.
But he throws it better than most mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's no question. He's all-time leader with Aaron Rodgers in passer rating.
Yeah, but when you say it like that,
it's true.
I know, fact. but it's like pure throwers of the football.
He didn't run this year.
Rodgers won.
And
Lamar
his backup ran better than him.
And he wasn't good this year.
But when he was healthy, he was.
But what?
The first 4 games, was he good?
No, not against the Chiefs.
The first 4 games?
Not against the Chiefs.
That's
he
one game.
Wasn't. Well, that's a quarter of the sample.
He wasn't good against Buffalo?
Brew, he was awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't say any. Brew.
You said he wasn't good the first 4 games.
No, I didn't.
I asked you, was he good the first 4 games? You said no.
He wasn't good. I thought you were asking me, was he good every single one of the first 4 weeks? He was
good 4 of his first 5 games.
I think he was awesome against Buffalo. He was awesome against Cleveland. He was bad. Kansas City was game 3, and he got hurt. Kansas City was the 3rd game of the year, and he got hurt.
So did he?
And then the 4th game of the year.
I thought was his 5th game.
The fourth, not as far as I know, is the 4th game of the year against the. Am I wrong about this? Do I have it wrong?
I thought okay.
He came back against Miami and was out of this world, right? Yeah.
4 touchdowns.
And then I don't.
And then he was good at the end against Pittsburgh.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kansas City was the 4th game. Maybe I have it wrong. I thought Lamar this year, one of the reasons he was not as effective, and I think this is what Wildes is referring to, was because teams weren't threatened by his running. And I think that would concern me moving forward. Not enough to where I wouldn't give him a raise, but it would concern me moving forward.
Time now for the most literal segment of this segment of all time, the Divisional Round version of Must Win. First up, Bills-Broncos, Saturday afternoon. Bills do a great job protecting Josh, 4th lowest pressure percentage, but Broncos pressure QBs at the 2nd highest rate. So quite a conundrum here. Greg, coach had a 8-0 victory last week, so he's passing the baton to you. Would you like to pass or play on the Divisional Round segment of Must Win?
We playing. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
He has his game face.
Broncos on my
gosh.
Little Russell
wasn't,
Wilson
but
Broncos on my.
He got his
I
game
like
face.
it a lot.
He must have taken some smelling salts before this segment.
Okay. Go ahead, Greg.
It's on me.
Well, you just said your pass or play. You said
Let's go. High expectations were set before the season even started. Sean Payton, get it done.
Oh,
absolutely.
He stole your must win?
Look, not only did he say, we could win the division, short-term goal, long-term goal. This team is capable of winning the championship.
Facts.
Well, we all kind of scoffed at the idea. Well, guess who's sitting at the #1 overall seed, hosting Josh Allen and the Bills? Understanding what's at stake, he has delivered. And now if he gets this win against Josh Allen, who is the favorite quarterback to go on, because there's no Patrick Mahomes, there's no Joe Burrow, there's no Lamar. We know the drill. It didn't matter to Sean Payton. He believed in this team from the start, and he's going to have a lot of us believing that they can actually get it done if he delivers against Josh Allen and the Bills.
Great start.
Greg is correct on who it is, but I'm going to tell you really why. Because
Thank you.
Sean Payton, no, you're right.
Thank you for the point.
Sean Payton has also pre-celebrated. He did it last year when they were up 7-0 on the Bills in the playoffs, only to see the Bills score 31 straight, and then afterwards told everyone, yeah, had we not gotten curb stomped by them, we probably would have gone to the Super Bowl. We liked our matchup in the next round. He then also, as recently as yesterday, is treating people who cover the team as if they're just an inconvenience or a nuisance for, I don't know, asking football Jesus Sean Payton legitimate questions. Listen,
That's not good.
as long as you win,
He might
as
have a
long as
relationship with
he
the
might,
reporter.
he might.
I hope
but
so.
I'm
I
just
hope
that was right. Or maybe he's just kind of known to be a bit of a jerk at times. I don't know. What I do know is next year the Denver Broncos play the Bills, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers, the Chargers twice, the Steelers twice, next year. Meaning this is your moment. This is your opportunity.
It's amazing how two guys can be so wrong. Sean Payton, 2 years ago, the Denver Broncos were a mess. They were in Miami Dolphins territory where they had a quarterback with a huge salary that they didn't want, that was coming off the bench. And what did Sean Payton do? In 2 years, they are the #1 seed and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. If they lose this game, people in Denver are just going to be like, we're there, though. No. And your quarterback is just in his second year, and we know the quarterback's not that good. The guy is Sean McDermott. There are real tangible things at stake for Sean McDermott, like his job.
He's not getting fired.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But Sean Payton, we know is not getting fired. And again, he's getting praise for getting them this far, this fast. Sean McDermott, real tangible things at stake. Nobody's going to kill. Some people will kill Josh Allen, but nobody.
You landed the plane. 1-0 Brew. Easy.
Why?
You guys split votes. You guys said the same thing.
And it
How did I
really?
split a vote and I started?
Hey.
Wow.
San Francisco in Seattle Saturday night on Fox. Seahawks more than touchdown favorites after beating Brock by 10 in Week 18. Brock was dismal on 3rd and 4th down. 2 for 11. 18%, worst in any game since 2022. Nick, this is your ball.
Yeah.
Who's it a must-win for?
There's only one correct answer here. Everyone's going to agree, so much so I won't even mind if you guys just copy off my paper. It's Sam Darnold, and it's only Sam Darnold.
That's the
It's his
valuable
biggest
person.
career moment
Greg should-
by a mile. If Sam Darnold loses this game, he's simply never going to be trusted.
Oof.
Against
Permanent
this
pumpkin.
you know what? That's exactly what I was about to say. Permanent pumpkin mode. You took the words right out of my mouth, Judge. Against this defense in this spot, this rest advantage, it's Sam Darnold and only Sam Darnold.
Excellent.
Brew?
Right down the middle.
It's Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to waste my breath. It's Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Let's go, Clint! Kubiak, you're the only one that can control the mindset of Sam Darnold with the play calling, the scheme, the preparation, sitting in the meeting room, putting into him the idea that he can be the guy in this moment that he hasn't been. I'm not going to talk about Sam because, Clint, you're like the puppet master.
Oh, my goodness.
If you orchestrate the perfect game plan, any player, including Sam, will go into a game with the level of confidence and belief that they can get it done. Clint Kubiak.
Effort.
And
Yeah, it's a good try.
let's go get the head coaching job somewhere.
good try.
Appreciate you.
All right, Nick's up. Or Nick's
It's a
on
good
the
try.
Nick's on the
How did he
board
get
now.
2?
Oh, sorry, that's actually just.
Whoa!
That's actually.
Whoa!
Just, that's actually just a
I'm starting to think
charismatic
I'm just
one.
not beloved in this.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I had to
That was-
split with
blame
Nick.
the refs.
They didn't get Doc to split because they both said Sam, but I
No, I mean,
He didn't even try.
I said, hey.
Texans up
Nick's
against
got that.
Drake and the Patriots Sunday afternoon. New England a top 2 offense, Houston a top 2 defense. Last 10 years, 6 of these matchups. The offense has won 4 of these games, only lost 2. This one is worth 2 points. Who's it a must win for?
C.J. Stroud.
that's
Every
interesting.
other big name in this game is playing with house money. DeMeco Ryans, if they lose, nobody's killing him. He's created the best defense in the league. He resurrected that franchise from a few years ago when Deshaun Watson had demanded his way out and they looked done. Like they might as well fold up the franchise. He's brought him back. Drake May, second-year quarterback, first year in the playoffs. Nobody's killing. He won his playoff game. Nobody's killing him if against the best defense in the league, he loses. And Mike Vrabel might be the coach of the year. He has revitalized that historic franchise. C.J. Stroud has gone from, the golden child, future MVP, maybe his second year, to, is he the reason they can't win the Super Bowl? So it's on C.J.
Excellent.
C.J. Stroud.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Drake May is living your football life that we all thought it was yours. The prophecy. Second year, your coach believes in you. He goes and gets everybody defensively because we have the guy. And now you have to go into Foxborough playing a guy that is literally doing everything that we thought you would be doing. Have some competitive drive, some pride about yourself, and go out there and execute. C.J. Stroud, this is all on you.
Huh. It's a good answer. The right answer, though, is Mike Vrabel.
Interesting.
Because he can't let DeMeco Ryans come snatch his chain. These guys, whether they know it or not, have been competing their whole lives. Mike Vrabel was a really, really good high school recruit at linebacker. Good enough to go to Ohio State. DeMeco Ryans, just a little better, went to Alabama. Mike Vrabel was a third-round pick. DeMeco Ryans, same position, same idea. Second-round pick. Mike Vrabel was good as a rookie. DeMeco Ryans, defensive rookie of the year. Mike Vrabel, one-time Pro Bowler. DeMeco Ryans, two-time Pro Bowler. Now they're coaches. Mike Vrabel's Mr. Tough Guy. The guy I'm getting bloody lips. My team playing your team in a very similar situation. DeMeco Ryans, who was the slightly better player, high school, college, and pro, beats Mike Vrabel in his building, be like, hey, buddy, I'm the better coach, too. The big, tough linebacker turned coach that everyone wants, it'd be me. Nothing against you, Mike. You've been good. You just haven't ever quite been DeMeco Ryans. It's Mike Vrabel.
How many Coach of the Year and Super Bowl rings does DeMeco Ryan have?
What? Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
2 points for Brew.
What?
Finally, Rams at Bears.
I thought Nick was
This
good.
is
but
very-
you said he wasn't
I
good.
pass.
You're like, no facts. Where the facts? It's a nice story.
He did
but
a
where the
whole
facts?
salad of Vrabel, DeMeco, everybody else.
What?
Nick,
You had me, Nick.
Thank you, bro.
But
It's a
Wild
nice
was- Wild was
storyline.
about facts.
It's a nice
It was a nice
storyline
story.
nobody's
Nice
thinking
story.
about. I knew you guys were going to go
Completely
CJ.
false,
I
but
thought it was
It's
good.
not
I thought
false.
it
How did Ohio
It's
State
true.
do against Alabama?
Right, exactly. On State, Alabama.
Stafford favored in the
6-7,
divisional round.
You know?
6-7.
He should be docked all his points.
No, I should get a little bit of
For doing
extra
6-7
points.
stuff?
Yes,
I actually-
making you laugh in the break. That's what I did.
It's not the break. I'm trying to do the
I
news
mean
read.
the break between the questions.
3 of the last 4 road favorites lost, and the Rams are favorites, so they might lose. Greg, it's back to you. This is worth 4, so it's still anybody's ball game.
I honestly feel like
It's anybody's
you
ball
guys,
game.
because you guys are, because you guys are in the meeting.
He's throwing
Oh
it
my
down.
gosh! I thought we had the heart of a champion.
But Matthew Stafford, legacy game.
Oh,
Legacy. I'm talking, there's not a long list of guys that have 2 championships and a potential MVP attached to their name. This is a legacy game, a legacy statement. This is a team that you're familiar with, an organization that you're familiar with. You played in these inclement weather opportunities. You have to get it done. We'll talk more about your entire team, but this is about you. You have to show up. You have to deliver. You've done it all season long. You can't come up short in this moment. Go get your legacy, man. First ballot Hall of Famer. You get this done, first ballot. MVP, 2 championships, first ballot.
He wins the championship if they win this week?
No.
Dennis Allen.
You went back to history, high school.
I went back to
think
things
about.
that have happened. I haven't presumed things will have
I
happened
said
in the future.
legacy game.
Dennis Allen, everybody knows The Rams offense against the Bears defense is a mismatch. What are you mad about? Everybody knows that. If Dennis Allen can cook up, he's the defensive coordinator for the Bears.
I know.
Well, just to let you know. You seem so shocked. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Not a huge name, you know.
Not a huge name, but
I know
maybe
who
the
he
most.
is.
Everybody's going to be focused on
Dennis Allen.
Why are you so focused on the airport?
Because
this is
people
the
love the show in the
today.
airport. Shout out to you if you're taking a flight right now. Now, great, it could be Caleb.
Yeah.
Number 1 pick, generational guy. We're focusing on the linebackers coach.
No, he's not
Never
the
a good
linebacker.
sign when the judge interrupts
Dennis
your
Allen.
answer.
He
and
didn't
just
like
starts-
Dennis
Never
Allen.
mind.
Starts
He was on the
cooking.
second. Oh, he's quitting.
No, I had great
Do I
analysis.
even need to
You didn't
go?
want it. You didn't want it.
I want to.
Too bad. Prove
I
Go
don't
ahead.
even think I need to go to get this way. I mean, my goodness. You talk about crash outs. All right, here we go. It's Nick Wright.
What? What if the fumble at the goal line?
Is the Nick?
I got it, baby! Yes!
Let me finish. I didn't go yet. Let me finish. Is the Nick pick becoming the kiss of death in the NFC?
Interesting.
Let me take you through it.
No.
Like Nick took you through.
I don't know, we have
I'm going to
no
take you
time.
through with some facts. Last year, Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl. They don't even make the playoffs.
I can't believe it.
They
I'm
don't
sorry, we're running out of time.
Will you listen to half the base doesn't make
Greg Jennings.
What? Let's go.
That's a must-win divisional round.
That was a pity.
It wasn't.
You didn't even let a brother
You
finish.
said Nick Wright. He got made fun
you
of for
wouldn't
saying
even
Dennis
listen
Allen.
to me.
Nobody at the airport's like Nick Wright. Sorry. Enjoy your flight,
man.
everybody. That's.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.